Hi guys. So I just wanted to come in here one more time because like I said yesterday, our mindset is the most important thing that I feel like about this challenge group and about changing your lifestyle. And I'm going to tell you a story, and you might think, what is this crazy girl talking about? Like, this has nothing to do with anything, but I promise I'll wrap it up at the end. So just listen to the whole thing, please, because it's really something that I think will put things into perspective for you, because it did for me whenever I was thinking about it anyways. So my story is a few years ago. My husband was deployed, and then after that he was stationed in Okinawa, Japan. And I lived in Cuba, Missouri, and I hadn't seen him but a couple times in a couple years, and I wanted to see him, obviously. So we decided that I was going to go to Japan, and he bought the ticket, and obviously that's not cheap, so we invested in this ticket so that I could come see him for 10 days. Whenever he did that, I obviously went ahead and got a passport, because obviously you can't leave the country without a passport. And I was really ready for this. I tried on every pair of clothes that I was going to wear so that I could have outfits. I packed them up a couple days beforehand. I planned my ride to the airport. I made sure I knew what times my flights and stuff were. I made sure that I was ready, okay? Even though I felt like I was ready, I was a nervous wreck. Like, nothing can ever get you ready to leave the country for the first time alone. Like, I was alone, and I was gonna fly over the ocean and go to Okinawa, okay? I was scared. So anyways, I remember my mom drove me up to St. Louis, and the night before I was like, okay, I have to have nice hair. So I stayed up all night the night before because I wanted to look nice for my hubby, and I got my hair highlighted, and it turned out terrible. It was like an orangey blonde color, and I stayed up even longer so that we could try to fix that. So I had no sleep before the flight. So either way, we got to the airport early in the morning, and I had my bags. I was ready to go. You know, I was nervous, and I got on my first flight. The first flight wasn't too bad because it was just to LAX. And then that's whenever the scary part started happening. I got on my first flight to LAX, or at LAX to Japan. That was like literally a 24-hour flight, okay? It was a huge flight, and I had someone on this side of me and someone on this side of me. This person was by the window, and it was a really old woman, which I love old women, but she didn't speak English or anything. And she was there. I would have much rather been by the window. And then there was like this middle-aged guy next to me on this side who didn't know English either. So I'm sitting there stuck between people that I couldn't even talk to for 24 hours. So I was like, great, I'll watch the little camera in front of me and watch this movies or something on my way there. Well, once the flight took off, this girl got up and went pee every 5 seconds. This guy, I don't even know what he was doing. I was just worried about this girl sitting on my lap every 5 seconds when she passed me. And the TV didn't even work. It was awful. Like, what was I supposed to do for 24 hours on a plane where you have to sit there and do nothing for 24 hours with people that you can't even talk to? Like, oh my God, it was so awful. And then I got to the airport in Japan, had no clue where I was going. People really didn't speak English. I was just following the herd and hoping that I got to where I needed to go. My phone wasn't working because I had no service. Couldn't text anybody. I didn't prepare for that. So I literally was just lost. Anyways, I made it finally to where I was going. Whether I was scared or not, I figured it out. Like, I improvised and went with the flow. I just made it happen. But once I got there, I forgot about all the terribleness of like getting there in the first place, and I saw my husband. So with that story, I'm going to tie this into our challenge group. So first of all, whenever I said that I got a flight, I made an investment in myself. You have made an investment in yourself to do a workout program and eat healthy, drink your shake. We've all been there and we've done it. And if we tell you that you need to be prepared for it, it's because we've done it before, and it's scary. Like, I was scared out of my mind to go across the world by myself. Like, I was 20 years old and it was the scariest thing I've ever done. And honestly, I could compare this life to that. Like, I was scared to start this. I didn't know what I was doing, but my coach told me that I needed to meal plan and I needed to meal prep. I know that people are like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. I can just go and eat healthy food. No, that's not how this process works. If you are not prepared, you have a better chance of failing. I would never invest in myself on a flight and not pack my clothes. I wouldn't have not got my passport because obviously I wouldn't have been able to get on a flight to Japan if I didn't have a passport. Like, my packing took me at least a couple hours whenever I tried on every outfit that I owned, but I did it because I wanted to. That's my point. We have to be prepared before we actually start this, and I hope that you are. Another thing is that I had a schedule. I knew what time I had to be at the airport. I knew what time I was going to get there. I knew what time I was going to be coming back home. Like, I knew that I had to get a passport, so I made time for it in my schedule beforehand. I knew that I was going to have to pack, so I stayed up late and I did that. Like, I stayed up late to do my hair because I thought that that was important, which really probably wasn't, and I ruined it. But anyways, like, it didn't matter if I lost sleep or whatever I had to do, I got it done. So I know that it seems like a task to do what we ask you to, but it is an important part of the process, and I hope that you do that because I want you to succeed. Let me see here. Oh, once I got on the plane, it was the most awful experience of my life. Like, I hated that plane ride. Oh, it was awful. I wanted to get off, but I obviously couldn't get off. There was no way to get off. But that's what this feeling, it's going to feel like that your first week. You're going to think, geez, this is kind of hard. Like, I really don't want to work out today. Like, oh, you know? But the thing is once you make it past these first 3 weeks, it gets easier. Once you make it to your destination, you're happy that you went through all that not so fun stuff. And that's why I wanted to compare this story to this journey, because it's not always fun and games, but once you make it there, it's the best thing. You would do it all over again if you made your way to happiness. So I'm comparing this journey to your ticket to happiness, because that's what it has done for me. Like, I was in a terrible state of mind before this, and when my coach said do something, I did it. And I didn't necessarily know how I was going to do it, but I made it happen. And it's really important that you guys take our advice, because we've been where you are. We know that it's scary. We know that it's hard, but it gets easier. And you can do it. We've done it. It is possible. So I hope that you got something from this, and that you're really taking this seriously and making it worth your money, because you have spent money on this, and this is not about a sale for us. This is about helping you. We want to help you because we know what it has done for us. So let me know your takeaways from this video. I hope it has helped you a little bit.